Looking for more stuff that needs restoration or repair. Started going through my camping gear. This is in relatively good shape. It's actually in really good shape. It's going to need a handle. This needs cleaned and sharpened. About as dull as a kindergarten Christmas play. This actually would be a really good folding arbor saw, if not for the fact it's loose as shit. Filthy and rusty. So, that'll be our next patient. Let's get this show on the road. I'm not going to need a flathead screwdriver for this, but I am going to need a Phillips. So swap that out. As far as dealing with antique tools, my grandfather, as I recall, had a multi-head screwdriver exactly like this when I was a kid. There's no reason to replace something if it still works, or if you can fix it. I don't want to come out yet. Well, see if I can get that out over the vise. I'll be right back. That did it. There's one screw here. I may end up replacing it, depending on what kind of condition it's in and how well this wood holds up. Saw is actually really good. It's really sharp. It's just this folding connection doesn't really hold up well. That is rusted to shit. And I am in fact going to replace it. What that does, when the blade folds back, it stops against this screw to keep it from folding any further. So that's going to be replaced, probably with a much longer screw that goes all the way through the handle. Then I can cut off the back end of it with a hacksaw. Okay. Got a better shape of bucket this time for the derusting. So I don't have to use nearly as much. That's actually in really good shape. I'll leave that as it is. Don't have to use nearly as much vinegar. Magic ingredient. There we go. Just enough to cover it. Give you a better view of that. Just enough to cover the whole thing. That'll sit overnight. While that happens, we can take a look at the handle. It's in reasonably good shape. It's solid, it's not cracked or anything. I think just giving it a quick sand And maybe some tung oil if I want to put a preservative on it at all. Probably not even that. All right, wipe it down. No cracks or splits. No damage anywhere. It's nice and smooth and clean. That'll do it. Yeah, maybe we'll just oil it quick. Not the best thing in the world, but good enough. It'll protect the wood a little bit. It'll soak in. That's all it needs. Same dirty rags last time. I'll use just the clean end of it this time. WD-40 will soak in. Keep the wood from drying out too quick. It'll smell funny for a couple of days, but makes no difference to me. Besides, I think it looks nicer. All right. Now we just gotta wait till the morning and work on the blade. All right, let's see how bad this is. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's kind of nasty. But most of the rust is off of it. So we'll take it out of there. Water and baking soda to neutralize vinegar. Oh wow. That just comes right off now. I should maybe get another one of these so I'm using less stuff. I'll get a toothbrush, be right back. Alright, sorry for the wait. Got some old toothbrushes and I realized I have this scrub brush as well, so Not making things very visible. There's that bolt. In there too. There's our result. A lot better than it was because of all this layer of surface rust. Just use the back edge of this knife here as a scraper. You don't need a ton of tools to do this type of thing. And you can improvise the ones you don't have. Amazingly, this blade is still sharp. Regardless how rusty it is. Teeth are still sharp. All right. Like with everything, we're not trying to make this perfect. We want to make it usable. We can't make it perfect. As you can see, there's a little more work to be done on there. A few spots that are a little worse for the wear. But all in all, it's a hell of a lot better than it was. Once we oil it, put it away, it's not going to get any worse. So I'll sand that down, clean it up the rest of the way, and then I'll show you putting it back together. So sand and clean that up as much as I possibly could. Just a little pitting. The rust is gone. It's oiled up now. Still sharp. Massively sharp. That'll be great. So let's put this thing together. Not where it's supposed to be. There. This thing is incredibly useful for camping. I don't go camping. Not often or very enthusiastically. But years in the past, used to go out do survivalist stuff. And in an emergency, this is useful to have around. So now, I've got a good arbor saw again. As you can see, I did replace that one screw that was completely rusted out. Just used a drywall screw, pressed it in, made sure it's good and tight, and cut off the back end. I like the patina of it. It looks like an old, well-used tool, which in fact it is, but now it also looks like it's been taken care of, which now it has. All right. That's one more for the books. Talk to you next time. Okay. Clarification in terms here. Now that this thing's finished, I've just been calling this an arbor saw. It's just the phrase that I associate with the tool. Properly, it's a pruning saw. These ones in particular, I remember from the 80s and 90s, my childhood and teenage years, being most commonly carried in apple orchards in southern Ontario. And yeah, generally what it's for. The astute among you may have noticed. Got a close-up here for you. The astute among you may have noticed the teeth are pointing towards the handle instead of pointing forward, and it's curved. Reason for that is what it's made for. These are designed to draw back over the branches you're cutting. You don't push it like a regular handsaw, you pull it. You have one hand on the branch, you're pulling the branch down, and you draw the blade back to cut on the outside of that bend you're making, so that you can cut the branch off, prune it more easily. All in all, it's a useful tool. In the case of going camping, or for survival, whatever you're doing, going out in the bushcraft, it's a very useful thing to have on you. It's small, it's really lightweight, easy to carry, and then you have a saw with you to complement your axe, your drill, and the ubiquitous knife that if you're doing bushcraft shelters, those are the only tools you need. All right, talk to you later.